Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to 2023. I'm Jashan Sippy, and we are very happy to have you here today. Please note that we will be addressing your questions. I've organized these pre-departures days because we want to provide reliable information from reliable sources for all of you. For those of you who are Indian students who want to pursue their higher studies in Italy, we receive hundreds of queries every day on social media about how to prepare for your departure to Italy and what to do after you arrive in Italy. So today we're going to talk about various topics as follows. We're going to talk about how to apply for your resident permit after you arrive in Italy. We're going to address how you can open your own Italian bank account, where you can buy a SIM card when you land in Italy. We're going to talk about health insurance for students in Italy, how to find reliable accommodation, and some tips for using public transport as well. Please patiently wait as all the topics are addressed, because each and every one of these topics is going to be relevant to you. So don't zone out at some point in the middle, right? And with that, welcome Chiara. And along with Chiara, we have Miss Federica Maria Giove, our director, who is going to be moderating the session with Chiara today. So over to you, Federica.
Thank you, Jashan. Thanks to Chiara for being here today and for delivering this precious information to the students that are attending this session, as of how important these topics are and how important it is to find and to understand how things will be for you once you arrive in Italy. As a starting point, the first question that I have for Chiara concerns the, let's say, things to do before leaving India, before leaving the country. Is there any suggestion, Chiara, you would like to give to the students before their departure?
Yes, there are a lot of things that you need to keep in mind. But the main thing that I found that was really important is to have scans of all your documents, okay, with you. That is your passport with all the pages. So if you have other stamps on your passport, please take a scan and keep it. Okay, all your academic certificates, the front and the back, because we've got the apostille on it, we've got the other stamps on it. So you require the back as well, okay. A copy of your birth certificate. Okay, you may not need it, but then you have events and places for your internships and all that, you might need it eventually. Okay, and any other certificate that you deem important. Okay, something pertaining to your CV, some exam that you've given. Keep the scans with you, because it's always you may not know when you require it. Then take copies of your documents. You can definitely come here and get that done, okay? But when you arrive here, there is a possibility that you need to search for, the copy shop, and you don't have time and you start panicking because you might have an appointment. So always keep copies with you. I've mentioned at least 5 copies because I've looked at the amount of things that we need the copies for. Okay, your DOV, if you have the DOV, or if you have your CIMEA. Your enrollment certificate, keep at least 5 copies of that, and your health insurance. One thing I found important is to activate roaming on your Indian SIM card, because you might have some kind of bank account connected to it. You might need an OTP. Okay, so always keep that activated before you leave. Yes, and also think about whether you require some sort of medication, whether you require take one sweater at least, okay, because it could be a little chilly in September when you arrive. Keep a jacket. You can always get it here afterwards, but just be a little prepared when you reach here. Yeah. And don't be scared, okay? Don't be scared, okay? You're going to be really excited because you're coming to a new place.
Thank you, Chiara. And what about once arriving in the country? I believe that students will be will be arriving in the city where the university they have chosen is located in. What are the first steps to do, according to you?
there is Wi-Fi everywhere, but as soon as you arrive at the airport, you will be able to buy a SIM card. So remember those copies that I spoke about? You will require your passport copy at that point of time, which you need to give them. Okay, that's all you require for a SIM card. Okay, the passport copy. Okay, then you have different companies that offer SIM cards. So that could be either the Vodafone. Okay, that's something that we all know about. Then Italy has something called Iliad. TIM, there's Wintry. Okay, offers go from €7 to €10 a month. Okay, you can get something cheaper also for €4. If you don't want to buy one at the airport, it's not a problem. Okay, you can buy one at your local mall. There'll be a shop near where you live. So don't worry. Okay, but buy a SIM card as soon as you reach.
Permesso di soggiorno. Yes.
Okay, so this is an important question that everybody asks. Okay, this is your residence permit. You have 8 days. Okay, after you arrive in the country, arrive in the city that you're going to be residing in. Okay, to submit your permesso di soggiorno. Remember, you can only submit this in the city that you are residing in. I'm saying this again. Okay, so that's where your university is based. Okay, if you arrive in another place and you're staying there for a few days, try not to do that. Okay, go directly to the city of your university where you have accommodation and you apply for your residence permit there. Now, the kit. The residence kit. Okay, this would be available with either the international office or you can get it at any post office. Okay, this residence permit kit is the same for students, for work permits, for everything. Okay, the kit remains the same. Okay, it's a yellow kit. Let me see. Yeah, he's put it here. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay, you can get this, as I said, at the post office. It is free at the point of collection. So when you take the kit from the post office, you do not need to pay any amount of money. Okay, so this is the first thing that you can do when you reach, locate your nearest post office or go to the international office. Okay, they will either provide you with one or they let you know where you can go get one. But remember, any post office has it. Now, while submitting the kit. So once you get the kit, okay, there are a couple of forms in it. Okay, fill it very carefully. Try filling it with a pencil first, okay, before you finalize it with ink. Okay, documents to be submitted at that point of time. Okay, so your passport copy or acceptance copy or enrollment copy, okay, and your health insurance. So if you have not completed your enrollment, okay, by the time you finish the permesso, by the time you're going to submit the permesso, don't worry. Okay, just put in your acceptance copy. Yes. Now, where do you submit these? You need to submit this at the post office again. Okay, the same post office that you got it from. Okay, you go there, you submit the permesso di soggiorno. They'll check everything for you, so don't worry. Okay. And you need to pay 130. So 100 is for the residence permit and 30 is the tariff for the post office. Okay, you will then receive a slip. Okay, that slip is your temporary residence permit. Okay, till you receive your final one. So keep that safe. Take a scan of it as soon as you receive it. Okay, so in case you lose it, you always have a copy. And you will also receive an appointment letter. Okay, appointment to go to the questura. Now, what is the questura? The questura is the police station where you go to do your fingerprints. Okay, so you go there at the particular date and time that they give you. Okay, they'll give you the address and everything, so you don't need to worry. Okay, keep a reminder for the appointment because sometimes it happens a month to 3 months later, and arrive at the questura at least an hour in advance. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Chiara. I would like to remind students that if they have any questions related to the topics discussed, they can absolutely write them in the chat box. Okay. Mm-hmm. Codice fiscale.
Okay, I bet all of you have already seen that you'll have your Codice fiscale on your pre-enrollment form, the summary that you received from university. However, you need an official one. Okay, so when you come to Italy, okay, the international office will definitely let you know about where you need to go. But the office that provides this is called the Agencia Entrata. Okay, again, it is in the city that you reside in. Okay, so you need to go to an office in the city that you reside in. Okay, again, you need your passport copy. That's about it. Okay, it's a free thing. You don't need to be paying anybody for it. And either the international office takes an appointment for you, or you could take an appointment online on their website. Everything is very clear. Okay, you have the different offices also, so you could locate the one which is closest to your accommodation as well. Okay, and go and get it from there. One thing that I mentioned here is housing contract, if available. If at the point of time you do not still have your contract in hand, don't worry, go get the Codice Fiscale done. Okay, this is your tax code.
Chiara, we have two questions related to the slide. So, Abai is asking, do we need to submit an accommodation contract for a permit?
For a permit, not at the time when you're going to submit it first. Okay. Again, it also depends from region to region. Certain regions require the permit, like Veneto requires a housing contract, but that's only at your appointment. Okay, so when the date that they give you, that is the time that you would require a contract by. Okay, it's normally the end of December. Is if you have a scholarship, then you will also need to submit a contract at that point of time. But again, every region is different, so you would need to check your rules for that place.
Thank you. And also, Aishwarya is asking, who will give the appointment for police station for finger scans, fingerprint?
Yes. That's exactly what I said. The Questura, you'll get it from the post office. So when you submit your form, the residence permit kit, they will give you an appointment letter with your receipt. Okay, the appointment letter gives you the time and date where you go to the Questura to get your fingerprints done.
Okay. One other student is asking, can fiscal code issued by Agencia Entrata at Milan be valid at a university located in some other region?
Your fiscal code doesn't change. It's the same throughout Italy. So it depends on your name, where you've been born, and your birth date. So that is definitely not going to change. So yes, it's valid everywhere. Yeah.
Okay. I'm asked for fiscal code before I arrive in Italy. How do I get it?
The official document we will need to go to Italy and get. Okay. Otherwise, the one that is given on your pre-enrollment summary works everywhere. So you don't need to worry about that.
May I ask who asked you, Aishwarya, to provide fiscal code before arriving in Italy? Okay. Then, University did not provide me with the fiscal code. They sent me the enrollment summary without it. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I'm just saying that some of you all might have it already on your pre-enrollment. If you don't, when you get to Italy, go to the Agencia Entrata and they will give it. Please be very careful that you mention your right name. If you have a middle name, put the middle name exactly as per your passport. Okay? Because then it could create multiple fiscal codes.
Middle name is very, very important especially for Indian students who often don't have it have it. So please write the name exactly as it is while applying for your Codice Fiscale. Okay, so, and I would also like to add that often universities offer assistance in obtaining the fiscal code upon arrival in the city. Okay, so free to visit their welcome office once you are there. Okay.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Okay. Now opening a bank account. Now, as Federica just mentioned, when you visit your welcome office and the international office, these are things that they will already tell you about. They will give you some information about. So normally a university has a bank already affiliated to them. So it will be the bank which is nearest to the university. Okay. And you just require your passport and the enrollment copy to open a bank account in at such places where the university has a tie with the bank. Okay. So you can do that when you arrive. Okay. And if you do not wish to use that particular bank, if you have done your research and you have a bank in mind, okay, there are other banks, but for those you would require your residence permit. Okay, you would need that to open a bank account, and or even at the post office. Okay, you can open a bank account. Now, at the post office, there are two particular bank accounts that you can open. One is a current account and one is a savings account. Both of them provide you with an ATM card that you could withdraw money from. Okay, the only catch with the savings account is that you don't require your residence permit, but to put money into the account, you can only put through cash. Okay, so I would suggest not, because where do you get all that cash from, right? So wait, you could also use other apps. Okay, that is one thing that I did when I first arrived here. I used an app. I used Revolut, I used Wise, and it worked beautifully. There you can get money in, you can send money internationally. Revolut also has Indian rupee right now, so it works really well. And they provide you with an ATM card. You can use your phone directly at the machines for wireless payments, and it's fine. This account also, if you have a scholarship, also the scholarship also gets credited to it, so you don't need to worry. Yes, bank accounts. Then
I have a small question, if I may interrupt.
No.
What is the name of this app again?
Excuse me. Please write the questions in the chat box.
The name of the app is written on the screen. It's Revolut, and there's Wise. Okay. And yes, please refrain from talking in the middle. If you could just write it in the chat box, we'll respond to you. Okay.
Okay.
Then travel pass. When you first, okay, I put that actually at the end. Always travel with a ticket, please. Always travel with a ticket. Okay. It's important, because if you get caught without a ticket, you will be paying a 50 euro fine at that particular time. And if you do not have the cash, then it gets onto your passport. So please always travel with a ticket. Where do you get your ticket? You get your ticket from the ticket vending machine. So when you arrive, you may need to buy a ticket. They all accept cards, so you don't need to worry about having cash with you. Then you also get your student travel pass. Okay, this could be provided directly from your international or your welcome office. Okay, or you could go to the main ticket counter, that's the main terminus, and request for your student ID pass. It is a pass it will have your name on it. It will have a QR code on it. Okay, it could also have your picture. Okay, you may need to provide documents such as your enrollment copy or your passport. As well as ISEE, we'll get to ISEE at a little ahead. And then there are also apps where you can buy your ticket. I have mentioned two here. For Rome, there's Ticket Appy, and then there's AVM Venice, if you're in Venice. Regional trains can be booked via Trenitalia. It works perfectly fine. Okay, it's online, and you can book whatever ticket you need. And again, always travel with a ticket. Okay, please, it's very important. Next.
Trenitalia, there is also Italo. I don't know if you have mentioned it, but we have...
No, I haven't.
So we have both Trenitalia and Italo for train. So you can check on both the websites. Okay, and of course see which rate is better.
Yeah.
I wrote both the apps on the chat box. Okay.
Then canteens. Okay, so you will have a canteen in your university. If you're in a different department, every department has their own canteen. To your university. What are the regional DSU canteens? So these are the ones which come with the scholarship. Okay, if you applied for a regional scholarship or even for any student, okay, they offer discounted rates, and they're very affordable. Okay, so if you don't really need to learn to cook, to be very honest. The lunch you get, okay, for like a three meal, remember the name of the word plate. Okay, it's very affordable. The food is good. They also have vegetarian options, okay, vegan options, and even gluten-free options if that is something that you need, because there are a lot of vegetarians in Italy. That's one question that I think a lot of Indian parents worry about. Is my child going to get vegetarian food? And yes, okay, it's available at the canteens. We'll move ahead.
Okay.
Now the health insurance.
You received a lot of questions in the meantime. We'll go through the one related to the bank account. Okay. So is opening bank accounts free in Italy like in India?
To open a bank account, yes, it is free. They also have offers for below 30 years of age. So their youth accounts, student accounts. The university account is free, so you don't need to worry about that. So the bank which is affiliated with the university. Yeah.
Okay. Is it compulsory to open a bank account if one is going to Italy for an undergraduate course?
Yes. Because, I mean, you need money, you need to spend, right? So you would need to have your residence.
High commission.
You will be paying, yes. So, I mean, you're living in a globalized world.
Excuse me, you just answered my question. If I can say something.
No. Okay, so we will have to please everyone. Okay. So regarding the bank account, what amount we should carry while arriving in Italy in cash? If you have any suggestions regarding this.
Again, it depends on you, but have at least 100 euros with you in your pocket. Okay, you would require it maybe for a taxi from the airport to the accommodation where you stay. But that's the minimum amount I can recommend. It could go, I mean, again, depends on you. You could carry it through your Forex also. The Forex card works well here for when you're starting off to take money and come. It's also the safest way to come. So then you can block it instantly. So, yeah.
Okay.
It works.
Okay, I believe we have... You see the taxi on the airport, or is it easily available? Depends on the city. Where are you? Which airport will you be landing at?
Yes, and you can also use Uber. There's Uber everywhere.
You can use Uber. There is an app for taxi, which is called. I'll have to find it on my phone, but I'll tell you. And also consider that, for example, Rome, which brings inside the airport, which will bring you directly to
the main city.
The main city. So the app for taxi, I will write it here in the chat box. So that it is always better to book taxis through the app and make sure, as in India, that they always activate the meter. Okay? Airport Rome. What about this? Yes, from Fiumicino there is a train which will bring you for sure to Termini station. From there you can get the metro. Okay, the app for the taxi is called Free Now. Okay. For those, I see that here a student asked about Foggia. So I would rather ask the university directly exactly if there is any sort of link which connects the main city, or transports which connects the main city to the city where you are staying, where the university is located. I think that we can proceed. There are certain questions that we haven't asked. We'll cover them further on. Okay. Canteen. Okay. Health insurance.
Okay, so I believe that all of you all may already have a health insurance because you all have taken a travel health insurance for your visa. It's valid. Okay, so that's valid here. Now, the Italian health insurance works for the solar year, so that's from January to December. Okay, it's called the SSN, that's the public health insurance services, and you pay once, okay, and you can use it for that entire year. It costs 149 euros. Okay, again, payment is made at the local post office. When you go to your welcome office, this is also something that they would let you know about. Okay, and with that payment slip, then you need to visit the nearest health insurance department, and they will provide you with everything that you require. Documents that need to be submitted again is your passport copy. Okay, you would require a receipt copy, the residence permit receipt copy at this point of time. So you can do this after you submit your residence permit kit. And then your enrollment copy and the codice fiscale. Okay, so you would also require to go to the Agenzia Entrata or the international office and get your codice fiscale by that time. Okay, and it's a very beautiful health insurance, I would say, because if you ever fall sick, if you're ever in an emergency, you can just call up the ambulance and they're there for you.
Thank you, Chiara.
Okay.
Accommodation.
Accommodation. I think Rahul gave a few tips with regards to accommodation, and that would be what I would let you know. I mean, the international office will help you. Okay, they will provide you with the websites that they have connections with. Okay, they will also provide you with either accommodations at the hostels. Majority of universities do have hostel accommodation, so for the first few months, if you want, take advantage of that. They're beautiful places. You make a lot of friends, international friends as well. They have gyms, they have endless amount of things. Then you also have your regional accommodations and then your private accommodations. There are apps also like Idealista, Housing Anywhere, Spot a Home. So many of them are available. One very important thing is go and see the place, okay, before you ever book a place. Make sure everything is in place. The rooms are good. The room is clean. Sockets work. If there's a kitchen, the appliances in the kitchen works. And always sign a lease. It's very important. Okay, even as an international student, you do receive a lease. Okay, they will put the number of your passport on the lease. Okay, so you don't require a residence permit for it. And if it is in Italian, you can always ask for a translation in Italian before you sign it. Okay, please, or take the time to sit and read it, translating using Google Translate, but read the entire lease before you sign anything. Yes.
Okay, Chiara. There is Ashwarya who's asking since before. I have my accommodation. I have a lease agreement, but it is conditional. The landlady needs fiscal code for registration and for official lease agreement to be made. So I am asked to get fiscal code before I enter my accommodation. Now, I was waiting to answer to this question because one of the suggestions that I would like here to deliver to you is to make sure to see the apartment and meet the landlord before signing any sort of agreement. Okay, I'm telling you this from the bottom of my heart because you never know who you have on the other side of the of the screen, or I don't know how you got in touch with this lady. So I understand that it is necessary for signing any agreement to have a fiscal code, but if the landlady is not willing to wait for your arrival to Italy, I would highly consider the fact that she's not probably understanding all the several steps that as an international student you will have to undergo. So yes, my suggestion is to see the apartment, definitely see the apartment before signing any sort of agreement. I don't know, Chiara, if you want to add anything to this?
No, I agree with Federica. It's very important. You do not know who's on the other end of the line. Sometimes there's just agents, okay, who the landlady has paid to get this amount of people, and then it just, I'm sorry to say, it gets a little difficult then. Okay, so just be very prudent, be very vigilant, okay, about these things. Okay, it's not a small thing. See the apartment first, then sign anything. Okay.
Perfect. And since Jasmine just asked if we have any suggestion on where to look for an accommodation in the meanwhile, I mean, as a temporary, place until they get a flat and a proper lease agreement, I would suggest to have a look and to book only on reliable accommodation providers such as Booking.com and also Airbnb. I know that it can be a little bit expensive, but at least we are sure 100% that whoever is on Booking.com has been already, how can I say?
Verified. They're all verified.
Exactly. There is also another platform, Housing Anywhere, that we have heard that many students are using. But of course, the most popular outsourcers are Booking.com and Airbnb.
Italian language classes. I hope all of you have at least started learning a little bit of Italian, like where do I go to the bathroom? Can I get a coffee? Okay, so just start off with a little bit. You can even start off with Duolingo. But every university offers free Italian language classes. I believe now that also it's part of credits for every degree. I have it as a mandatory subject. So it's good. And also you have the local language libraries. You have community centers. They all offer free Italian language classes for international people. So here you also make a lot of friends. It's really nice. Then supermarkets. You'll find a supermarket at every corner. Here we have an example of one called Conad. A suggestion, make a membership card, because then you get points when you're shopping and you can always use it later on for discounts and things like that. Try the fresh produce. You have small little local markets where you can also get food. I have lost a lot of weight in Italy. I don't know why. I'm eating a lot, but because everything is so fresh and delicious, and I mean, it's good for your body. So yes, try the fresh produce. And your canteens will also always give you salad and vegetables and things with your food. So take it. Then we have something called the ISEE, okay, Parificato. This is required for either your tuition fee waivers, okay, or required for your scholarship, and also it is also required for the Erasmus Plus program if that's something that you wish to do. Documents for this is the family composition for this year, your income certificate according to the year that they ask you for. This differs from region to region, and I bet if you ask Unitalia, they will help you prepare everything, so you have no worries about that. Once your documents are ready, you would need to come to Italy with the original documents and submit them at your local CAF. Some universities like University of Milan, they do it online for you, so you can check that out. And ask your international office, they will help you with that, for especially the appointment at the CAF center. You can also do it online. There is a website where you can look at the nearest CAF to your accommodation, and go there. It is free. Okay, please do not pay anybody for an ISEE. It is free. Okay, if anybody says, "Oh, I'll get it done for you for 10 euros," please, it is free. Okay, so you just need to take that one step of going to the office and giving them your documents. Deadlines for this is as per the scholarship programs or before February. Okay, so if you're not a part of the scholarship programs, you can get it done before February. I added this one thing here because I found it very important, and I noticed that a lot of students were panicking with regards to it. Is if you are a scholarship holder, please complete your credits as soon as possible. Okay, because there are deadlines for completing the credits if you are a scholarship holder, and exam dates may not coincide with those deadlines. Okay, and remember that professors are very, very strict about the dates. They will not move dates from here to there because they take the trouble to do this for you. You have 3 turns to complete an exam. Some of them have more, but please try finishing it off in the first turn or the second turn if you can, and get your credits in hand. And I think I'm done.
Perfect.
Are there any questions?
Now we'll go through the questions. Okay. Is embassy legalization mandatory for ISEE in Lazio region? Yes, it is. It is. And in case you are applying in Mumbai, please consider that we as Onitalia representatives can guide you in the process. Do online payment available? Are online payments available everywhere in Italy instead of giving cash as India have UPI payments? Okay, now, yes, Chiara, to you.
I use my card on my phone. Okay, I can just tap my phone anywhere. It works perfectly. It's Google Pay or any NFC app. Okay, so even the bank account, the bank themselves have an app where you could use their NFC cards. So yeah.
It depends on the city.
You may need to keep, it depends on the city also, and you may need to keep some cash with you, maybe for like a 10 euros for a coffee. And coffee is not 10 euros, it's less than that, but just in case. Emergency money.
Emergency money, always have some cash with you. Okay. Okay, if we have an overseas medical insurance from our home country, do we still require to apply for one in Italy?
No, you don't really need it, but it's always better, okay, because it's the local health insurance here, and sometimes it takes time for your overseas to, I don't know, verify it, to activate it. It's something that happens everywhere when you're traveling abroad. Sorry about that, but it's always better. Okay, I would really suggest getting it because it also helps you with your residence permit. Okay, and it's not that expensive. It's just 149, and it's for a full year. And it's for an emergency. Technically, think about if anything happens to you. That's it.
Okay. So I think we're done. I'm answering to the Philippe question. Visa ATM works there. I'm answering yes. ATM are available everywhere, and Visa cards are accepted. Of course, it depends also on your banking system in India. Visa cards are accepted. Does local Italian insurance cover repatriation clause in case of worst case scenario? I think the best thing to do is to check with the insurance provider directly, because I don't know if you're talking about the health insurance that Chiara.
I think that's what she's talking about. I'm not sure about that, but we'll be happy to. I can look it up and let you know.
Okay. If there's a Ministry of External Affairs apostille, still we need consular attestation in ISEE documents? Yes, you do. Will the recording of this meeting be available? I ended up getting the meeting link a little late. Yes, definitely. The webinar will be saved and available on our YouTube channel. We will send you the link at the end of the session. What mode of transport would you suggest as safe in the evening if we want to travel from airport to our respective places, colleges? Where are you staying? In which city are you staying? Of course, the taxi is the safest place.
If you have luggage, yes, the taxi is the best thing to do.
You also have to consider that during the night or early morning, public transport might not be functioning. So please check on the relevant apps to see if to check the timetables of the public transports. Okay. Moving to Rome for masters in business school. How is the public transport connectivity? Is it okay?
Rome is beautiful.
8-9 kilometers away. There is one best thing to do. If you check on maps and Google Maps, you'll be able to verify if there are connections. Not only, you'll be able to verify not only the road by car, but also the connectivity by public transport from point A to point B. So I've always used Google Maps for this, and I can say that it's pretty,
well-connected.
Yes.
Yeah.
The only thing, of course, in Italy, you will not have Calipili. So you have to consider that you will have to, taxis are quite expensive. Uber are quite expensive. So the way we as Italian commute in Italy is usually either by a car or public transports. Metro works very well. Bus depends on the city. If you live in a small city, the connectivity, of course, will be better than in big cities, but this is obvious. So
once I landed in Turin, the international office was very helpful in providing us a list of accommodation facilities. For me, I was also already connected with the Indian Students Association, so they guided me to an organization called Alogiami, where I met Miss Tekla. She picked me up in her car and took me to some of the houses. And the first house I saw, I fell in love with it. It was a huge 4 BHK and it was all empty. It was recently rented. So that was my first accommodation. But otherwise, international office suggested a number of organizations and websites such as Alogio or Kahoot, etc. So there are enough resources. If you are an international student, you don't need to worry about finding an accommodation. So when I was looking for internships, I was told to not look for internships because it was very difficult for international students. But I wanted to try my luck. So I started looking for internships. I applied to 2 companies and I interviewed for them. That was the first suit I bought to wear to the internship interview. And luckily I got through the first interview that I went through. So it was a smoother process for me, but if I have to suggest you, then definitely look at the resources that the university provides. There are always different kinds of internships which can interest you. Maintain a high CGPA, maintain good relationships with the professors, so everything falls in place if you are making sure your studies are.
Hope so कि आपको ये समझ में आ गया होगा. कोई भी issue, if you have any issue, any query, you can comment below. We will respond you as soon as possible. अगर आपको कोई भी आपकी query है तो आप हमें comment में लिख दो, हम response करेंगे. We are here to help you. Thank you so much for watching our video. Thank you so much. And FLCS is always there to help you, guide you in the further process related to visa, related to any query which you face. Just comment below.